What's up, guys? Luke here, Uncle Luke's live stream. If you can hear me okay, please somebody let me know in the chat. If not, I can make some adjustments, but I always check because I'm just not very good at the technology part of all this stuff. What's up, guys? Super busy week in the credit card game this week. First thing I want to address is some of the questions before we get into this gold card stuff. And I know we will have a lot of questions and a lot of opinions on the gold card stuff. Let's see here. Okay. Everything looks crooked, but okay, we won't worry about it. So soon as somebody lets me know in the comments that the microphone's working and everything's good, we'll get started on some of these questions that were in the community post. All right, Brad Groover says it sounds good. All right, very cool. Nick 1828 asked a question in the community post. And normally I would wait for some more people to get in here, but this is a super busy week and a super busy night for me, so I want to get right into it. Nick's asked, he said this is a New Orleans, Louisiana question. In Louisiana, apparently they have an old Cajun story about a rougarou. I think it's some kind of swamp monster. Who would I take with me at night through the swamps to go on a mission to find and kill a rougarou? Okay, so who would I take with me on a mission? Well, the only person that goes to Louisiana with me is my wife. I'm going to leave her alone. So I'm going to answer this question as if we're going to be looking for the rougarou Labor Day weekend. So I'm going to take the original OG crew that was in Vegas. I'm an old school Dungeons and Dragons guy, so if I'm going on a mission, I'm picking a bunch of guys with specific skill sets. Cesar, he's already in the chat. Cesar's coming with me. We're going to take RJ Financial. Got to have some brainiacs. I'm going to take Chad from Chad's Money Minutes. He's tall, so he's going to be my brute. Got to have a super smart guy, so Stan the Credit Frog is coming with me. I got to have a super laid back perspective guy, so Chase Yokoyama is going to be there. And I got to have a guy from Texas. So my Texas guy is going to be Spencer Johnson. I think with all those guys, and trust me, there's be more. I think Dugras has got to be there. He's from Iowa, so I know he can wrestle. So we'll probably have him wrestle the rougarou. So that's probably my first thought of a party. I think we get along really well, and those guys will kind of stand up front, and I'll be in the rear with the gear, perfectly safe. So let me see what's going on with chat here. Louis Paul Carroll, sorry. Can't wait for the live stream. Fellow military friend from north of the border, Air Force guy, and I know how much you love the Air Force. Hey, the military guys, we kind of rise everybody, but I got nothing but love for dudes in the Air Force. I try to get my stepson to join the Air Force. If I could go back in time, who knows? Never mind. I would never join the Air Force. But mad respect for anybody that does. Vincent Pascal's in here. Cesar Joel. We got Vincent says, you have to bring Joe Beretta so he can scare everyone in the swamp with his wepa. I don't know if we want that, man. Joe, we'll see when we meet Joe in New Orleans this year, because Joe didn't come to the OG meetup. So I think my first rougarou or whatever it is going to be OGs from the first creator meetup. Yeah, so Seabass says a hook. I'm not a Texas guy, but I do know that the Texas guy, especially coming from a military background, the Texas guy is an integral part of the party. So got to have one. And he's got that whole handsome young Christian Texas guy. So I think he fits. He's like, what's that guy that did the race car movies that died? He looks like him a little bit. So we'll take him for sure. Ricky's Travel Hacking's in the house. Dugras, we already been talking about you, man. I said you're from Iowa, so I know you can wrestle. We're going to go. Somebody wants us to go grab a swamp monster or something in New Orleans. So you're on the front lines, baby. L-Man Gaming says, don't hold back on the gold card. Give us a real take, not something political. Hey, I don't do political, but I don't have all bad things to say about that gold card, really. David Aguilar, don't forget to bring. Aunt Connie is not going on missions, man. Now we're traditional and old school. We're probably not taking any females on missions. However, they work in supply, so they will probably get our gear ready before we head out. And obviously, if one proves themselves combat worthy, then they can have a. But there were no female creators at the meetup, so and I only know of a couple of them. Maybe Diana plays that Diana looks like she's kind of mean. She could probably make it, but other than that, Ricky's travel hacking. Frontier canceled my $35 flight to New Orleans. Oh God, I don't do the discount airlines. I probably should, but I just do not because it hurts my feelings too much when they do that kind of stuff. Okay, Dugras. If you wrestled in ninth grade gym class in Iowa, you're more than qualified. We're counting on you, buddy. Anthony Bovey, airline status with American Airlines. Was it worth it? Were you able to use the benefits when flying with family? So was it worth it? No, not even a little bit. Two ways to look at that. I live in a place that is not a hub for anyone, so I take the best deal. I don't give any loyalty to any airline. And the other part, you really can't get upgraded when you fly with 3 or 4 people. Now, here's the flip side of that. How I got status with American Airlines was accruing or earning a ton of American Airlines miles. Was that worth it? Absolutely. I just purchased a round trip ticket to Tokyo for February with those American Airline miles. So my whole life I've wanted to go to Tokyo or Japan, and I get to do that. So yeah, it was worth it. But was having status worth it? No. Some weird twist of fate. When I get Delta status, the next year I fly American every time. When I get American status, the next year I fly Delta all the time. So I have 6 Delta flights coming up and just a handful of American Airlines. So we'll see. Right now, I would say no, it's not worth it for me. Yeah, Sendo says some wrestling's better than none. Absolutely, man. Vincent says, what do you think of the Southwest changing up how you get your seats? From free to all choosing in advance? Like I can't for the life of me. I know I bash Southwest, but I think it's amazing that they have first come, first serve, that they have people standing in line, that they have people that'll run and jump on and save seats. Then they have everybody in wheelchairs. And I don't listen, it's not an anti-wheelchair rant, but all these fake ass wheelchair people, they do have an issue with that. So I like to pick my seat. I don't care if it is in the back, it's my seat. So if I had to pick an airline that has the best routes at my airport, Southwest might be it. So if they do have assigned seats or they do have maybe a step up from economy, maybe I'll be a Southwest guy. I don't know. Really doubt it. But Ricky says budget airlines is a game in itself. Yeah, flexibility, expect to be delayed. And if they do cancel, they don't have a flight right away. Keep it simple, says hello. What's up, man? One hand budget airlines. And then, yeah, you're right. The $30, $40 flights are pretty cool. Ches G, he's got the Amex Personal and Business Platinum. Which airline should I choose? Louisville's his home airport. I've never flown out of Louisville, so I don't really have any idea what Louisville has going on, man. So I can't help you there. What do you normally fly? Morale says who even uses the stupid Dunkin' Donuts and Resi credits? We'll get to that here in a minute, but I don't, and I don't have the gold anymore. Let me get through a couple more questions. Anthony Bovey also wants to rank transferable currency systems, Amex, Chase, Capital One, Citi, Wells, and explain why. I don't have enough time to do that, but let me tell you how I feel about transferable currencies, which is something I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, but guess what, man? They're all the same to me. What do I mean? I only transfer to the same 3, 4, 5 programs. Now, take away the hotels, and almost everybody has Avianca, Aeroplan, Flying Blue, and an Avios program. So I don't care. Citi, Amex, Wells, it doesn't matter. I'm transferring to the same partners no matter what. So just give me the cards that earn the best. Oh, Chess says Delta into Atlanta. Maybe Delta's your jam. All right, so let's talk. We got 53 people in here, which is a lot for the first few minutes. So let's talk about the American Express Gold Card. I don't want to beat it to death. You guys have seen there's tons and tons of videos on it. Does Let me ask you guys a question first. Does Is anybody surprised, or does anybody think this is a really big deal? Does anybody think it's as big a deal as it seems? Dude, staying up all night to report on it when the change comes over. Listen, American Express has shown us exactly what they want to do, and it's good for some and not as good for others. They want to jack up your annual fee and put the work back on you to get it back. The folks that want to play the game, the folks that might even think it's fun to secure all this value and credits, are going to get great value. They're going to get over, and they're going to earn a lot of points with 4 times. The other side of that, I only think you have to be in 2 groups to get solid value from the American Express Gold Card. And this didn't really change from a few days ago. One, you have to be interested in playing the game all out. For me, it wasn't worth it with the two $10 credits. The second is you have to spend on groceries and dining with that gold card. Here's why I say that. In my opinion, and this goes back to Stan's question, since this is right off the top, let me see Stan the Credit Frog asked a question in a community post. Luke, can you explain why the American Express Gold isn't for everyone again? You said it before, but I think it needs to be said again, especially with all the changes. Here's the deal, guys. If you're still bonus chasing, if you're still sign up bonus chasing, you're probably not using your gold card enough to take advantage of that 4X. If you're not jumping through the hoops and excitably playing this game, you're probably not getting enough value in those credits that I don't think are very good to begin with. So that leaves people that are not bonus hunting. They're spending a ton of money on dining and groceries, and they love to play the game. How many of those people are there? CJ had a good video on insider information about the gold card and the data Amex collected from gold card users. It doesn't seem like there are very many people doing this. Now, at the same time, guys, if you like the game, you like to stop at Dunkin' and grab you a donut and a coffee. If you like to order Grubhub and you like to take Ubers all the time, that's awesome. And you spend a lot of money at the grocery store, that's awesome. You got yourself a great card. My opinion, that's not very many people. And I can tell you my situation. I got rid of the gold card in April. I've not ordered Grubhub or Uber Eats since then. And probably never will. I haven't even taken an Uber in the US since then. So I have, and I do spend a lot of money at grocery stores. But it also, here's another kicker that nobody's really talking about. Those of us that spend a lot of money at grocery stores, a large percentage of those people subsidize that grocery spend with maybe some picking up stuff at Walmart or a warehouse place like what do they call the Sam's Club or Costco. Most people that have huge grocery spend are kind of subsidizing that because grocery stores are expensive. They just are. My wife will stop at Walmart to get the essential stuff. And if we had a big box warehouse store close to us, we'd probably go there. So I just don't think. I watched the BS podcast with Sean Lane and Sherwin today, and Sean Lane said something. He was the gold card was never an S tier over the top card. The marketing is phenomenal, but these guys that are saying it's so great, I would really love to get into their financials and see how many points they're really earning from it. Because some folks are earning a ton. I don't think that's very many people. So that's kind of my take on it. I want to go, let me get the chat over here. Then I want to kind of go in through some of the individual changes and what I think of it. And I have a really good kind of summary of that. Where are we at here? I'm probably going to get that StreamYard deal here pretty soon so I could get this more organized and all that good stuff because I do like doing the live streams. Ricky said nothing surprised him about the changes. Oh, and by the way, $325 for a card that doesn't do anything besides earn points. No, no, God, no. You should never. Oh man, You should never consider the points earned with the value of the card. A $325 card should make your life better. And don't you dare tell me Five Guys makes your life better. Stop it. So I don't like it. Vincent says he had a JetBlue flight from JFK delayed because the plane was struck by lightning. Wow. L Man Gaming said Stan was right about this a year ago. Amex already showed their hand, higher annual fees and more coupons. Now, here's the thing. The high annual fees and the coupons will work for some people. And if you want, but they do put the work back on us. I'm not interested in doing it. And like Stan also says, the older you get, the more your time fills up with stuff you have to do. And the chance for, oh, yeah, I have to go to Dunkin' and grab a chocolate donut. No, man. No. And none of you guys, how many of you guys eat donuts regularly? Very few people do that anymore. They're actually not very good for you. You should not go out of your way to go eat donuts. And I get they have coffee, but no. Let me see here. Lewis Paul Carroll, really not a fan of the coupon book. Too much work, in my opinion. Used to be fun, but having a newborn, having a newborn changes everything. You don't have time to track the credits. Now, here's my Filipino head of security is here, Glenn Ardonia. What's up, players? What's up, player Dino? Dino's got some badass travel scheduled for the end of this year. Dino is a Capital One Venture X guy, and he is smoking the game, just like he's smoking the security. Matt Clausen's in the house, another creator. I'm sure you guys know that, but if you don't, go check him out for sure. He's got his own niche there. He's got the kind of the daily, he calls them the tidbits. It's the daily news. Really cool. I know you can read that stuff, but it is. I like the fact that somebody's telling me about it. It sounds more personal and it sinks in better. And then he explains all the good stuff. So check out Matt Clausen. Cesar says, agree with 100%. If you're bonus hunting, it's difficult to get a return on the gold. It just is, man. Like if you're done your late game and you're just trying to get as many points and you like to get the credits, it's awesome. Big league. Dugras says only about 25% of our groceries actually come from the grocery store. And Dugras is a guy with a wife and kids. That's a lot of us, guys. People that shop at grocery stores, it doesn't take them long to say, man, oh man, I can probably go somewhere else and get this a little cheaper. Because grocery stores are expensive. He's got 2 teenage boys. I can't imagine. And Iowa boys. I can't imagine how much corn they're eating. Of course, corn's probably cheap there. Probably has like a trough or something with corn. I don't know. Ray's travel tip says when trying to get friends and family into the points and miles game, I avoid talking about Amex just to not overwhelm them. And that makes sense. It does. Now, I'm not here to bash Amex. I was an Amex fanboy for a long time, and I killed the game with American Express cards. It's just harder to do now. And then Cesar says most cards will make sense for a lot of us with the referrals. No hypocrisy there, man. If I had a gold card referral link, I would never cancel it. They took it away. They took all my personal referral links away. And I don't even think I was maxing them out. They just didn't like me having them. And you're right. It is a factor. It's a huge factor. If I can get 100,000 MR points on a card that I don't even have to use, I'll keep it all day. JP Buffett, sausage, egg, and cheese from Dunkin' is pretty good, though. Okay. I alternative Mickey D's. Like I do, I will stop and get McDonald's breakfast for the boy on the weekends if I get up super early and go work out. But I don't. The McDonald's and Dunkin'. I mean, 75 million McDonald's and 14 Dunkins. I just don't have a Dunkin' anywhere near me. Matt Claus says, I don't know what the gold card knows. I don't know that the gold card knows what it is anymore. Well, it's this is the thing. I like Amex's playbook. I like their business model. I like the credits for the money if it makes sense, but I don't think you need to do that the way they did it. We'll get more of that. Millennial Money Mom says the biz gold over the personal. Yeah, yeah, why not? Cesar says, but downgraded both the platinum and the gold for upgrade offers. Okay, yeah. I should have done that with hindsight, but I didn't. I just canceled them. He's already got 2 upgrade offers. Okay, 24 hours later. See, I have I think I'm going to do a video on it, but I have a similar story with my Aspires. And there's a little more to it, so I'll explain that in a different video real soon. Mojo, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for stopping by. Ray's Travel Tips is going to give us a super niche Dunkin' credit, at least 25 a month. DC Gemini, what's up, Luke? All the way from the Middle East. We got DC Gemini coming on the live from the Middle East. Nice, man. We appreciate you showing up here, man. We appreciate you stopping by. Always have something nice to add. Two Gross got the corn, baby. CJ's in the house. I just talked about you a little while ago. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear, I think. It's time for your old favorite, the Hilton Surpass. I do like the Hilton Surpass for sure. Andrew Beach says, hey, Luke, thanks for the live. Got a con call in 10 minutes, so I'll catch the replay. All right, Andrew, take it easy. Don't work too hard. Yeah, JP Buffett says he lived in Cali, didn't even know Dunkin' existed. See, I used to live in Rhode Island, and that's where I learned of Dunkin' Donuts. They're everywhere, but they're just not. We do have some in Ohio, but I stopped at one. It's in the suburbs of Cincinnati on the freeway on my way back from a Bengals game. And I probably have stopped there about 5 times in the last 3 years. But that's the only one I've ever been to. Were I to keep the gold card, I would for sure go stop at a Dunkin' Donuts and spend money. I don't want to do that. Yeah, Vincent says $1 a day at Starbucks. L-Man Gaming says the white gold's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. See, here's the thing. None of those metallic cards ever did it for me. My favorite looking 2 cards, they're Amex cards. The Amex green card, classic, just super cool. And the American Express Blue Cash Preferred. The big Centurion head, the blue. Those 2 cards, what's that? What do they call that? The Chef Kiss. Those 2 cards, money. Love them. Face BX55 says they love the content. Do you see any reason for them to upgrade from Delta Platinum to Reserve? Man, those are tough. I think both those cards are tough. I know they have a ton of credits to them, but they have like the $10 or $20 Resi credits, which I think if the Platinum works, then the Reserve works as well. It really depends on how many other cards you have as far as lounge access. But if you are a Delta loyalist, I don't really have a problem with anybody having the Reserve. I think it makes its money back if you follow the program. Dugross, you haven't made any choice redemptions yet. Listen, no. I look every time. The problem here's the problem with me and choice. The 100 days or 90 days or whatever it is, you can't book a reward, an award redemption any further out than like 100 days or 90 days. Right now, my travel is booked out all the way to midsummer 2025. That's how I do my business, and it's been really hard to use the choice points. I can't wait; they're going to be used, but that's my problem. And I didn't really realize that until I got the choice points and started in that ecosystem. But I really should have used them in Panama when I had the first presidential suite booked in Panama. I really should have kept that. So. You live and learn. Julius, the Amex Gold is the one you have fun with for a while, but Amex Platinum is the one you introduced to Mom. Yeah, I can't argue that. Platinum still, I canceled the Platinum too, but it's still a fantastic card. Yeah, like Matt Clausen said, a lot of people thought that they were going to move into the entertainment part with the gold. I, I I think it's better for Amex to keep the food. But if that's also why the Saver One is so competitive with the gold, it includes food and streaming, which is not that big of a deal. But I have a video coming out next week about why I prefer the Saver One over the gold. CJ's got to look back. Yeah, Rolando's from Rhode Island. Duncan's everywhere. Absolutely. Um, what do we got here? Cesar says choice has been good for him. Cambria Redemption. Yeah, Cambria and Ascend Collection and all those new fancy things they have. They got some good options. I can't wait to use them, but just haven't had a chance yet. But I will say this: almost all my points banks are completely depleted, and I have 130,000 choice hotels. So if I need a hotel, just like kind of last minute, it's going to have to be choice. Now, Carlos asked if I canceled the business platinum. No, I've not canceled it. That one's still good until March or April or May or something. So I'm going to carry that one. I don't think I'm going to keep it though. Um, okay, so let me say this one more thing about the American Express Gold. I think I'm pretty clear that it technically it is a great card for the person who wants to put in that work. And I think that person has two or three cards and is fairly frugal and fairly structured and squared away and likes to live a predictable life and have the same kind of routine. And for them, I think it works great. For most people, I think it's a marketing scam. And I think we have kind of just fell at lock stock into thinking 4X is better than 3X and nothing can really do what the gold does. And it's true, but here's where it gets really crazy. And somebody correct me if my math is wrong. But for you, oh, Xavier just hit us with a $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. If you are going to get really good value from the American Express Gold Card, you have 38 things you have to do now. Wait a minute. You have 38 things. You have to use a food credit 12 times for $10. That's enough where I don't think I would be interested. You have another food credit or an Uber credit for $10, 12 times. 12 times. Now you need to go to Dunkin' 12 times. It's 36 times. And it's not like you can go there 36 times tomorrow. You have to space them out. Then you have to go to a Resi restaurant twice, which I get is on the surface is no big deal. But when I look at I looked up Resi the other day. I've never been to any of those places, and I don't have any plans to ever go there. I live in a suburb of Columbus, and I work in Columbus, but I avoid Columbus like the plague because it's dangerous. I don't want to go to Columbus for anything, and I'm not speaking that from some scared person. I'm an expert on danger. I don't want to be there. The chances of me getting into a critical incident in Columbus, Ohio, are probably greater than anywhere else I go. So I'm not going to those restaurants. So 38 things you have to do to earn that 4X. Let's move over. There's nothing you have to do on the Saver One to get 3X. Nothing. And I know a lot of people don't see it that way, and that's great. That's why this game is super, because there's a million different ways to skin a cat. And those of you guys that are playing the game with the gold card, you're probably killing it. You probably are, but you're working. Andrew says not more dangerous than PDX. It's the type of danger I'm talking about. Columbus is going to be more dangerous than PDX. You have a different set of danger there. I don't know the numbers for PDX, but I'm pretty sure you're not getting the murders we're getting, and I'm pretty sure you're not getting the felonious assaults. You're getting the the bums, the drugs, and the thefts, and the other. You can avoid some of that, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. I've never been to Portland. Rick Beck, my man, another Ohioan. If player two does not like to fly main cabin, then you must have Delta reserve over to Platinum for the companion pass. If player two doesn't want to sit and coach, man, put her in the front. She deserves it, most likely. Brad Groover says, I dig my Chase and Capital One setup. Just got the gold for the sub. Yeah, that's got a great sub for sure. MP Rubio, Hilton Loyalist here. Surpass and Blue Business Plus is all I need for now. Surpass is just a money card. Xavier says it's a hassle. And Mr. Rubio is going to do the Aspire upgrade next year. Nice move, man. Brad Gruber says there's 5 restaurants on Resi near me, and he lives in the 5th largest city in the U.S. Well, I mean, let's say there's 5. You could probably go to 2 of those restaurants once a year, but I mean, 38 things. You have to jump through 38 hoops just to get to the earnings benefit. I don't know. Keep it simple. Just hit us with a super chat. $5. Thank you. He says, thank you so much for all the info you share. It helped them so much. Well, I'm glad. I am super glad that it's helping you, and I hope you're getting some good life experiences out of all this stuff. JP Buffett says, I think the gamification is what gets me at the moment. Maybe as the family expands, I might feel differently. Yeah. And like I said, when I first started this, I loved the gamification. I loved stopping and getting, $9.50 burrito or whatever it was. I thought it was great. I can't do it anymore. YouTube Experiment says year 1, Amex Gold makes sense. Year two, if you get if Amex makes an offer, yeah. Year 3, no, yeah. Year 3, yeah, you're right. I mean, the other part of the Amex Gold card, I do have a higher amount of spend, and I do spend a lot on dining and groceries. I could make an argument that an Amex Gold card works for me with not even trying to use the credits. But I don't think it will make a very good case with a math, because I think 3 times no annual fee is going to win. Mojo, how powerful could you see the autograph journey be for someone trying to keep things simple but still want travel rewards? Here's the deal, guys. All these cards, any one of you guys with 6 weeks of training could kill the travel game with any of these issuers, and only $95 annual fee cards or no annual fee cards. There's enough bonuses, and let's be real, the transfer partners are a lot alike. So I think with Wells Autograph Journey, you can kill it. I think with the City Premier and the City Custom Cash, you can kill it. American Express, yes, absolutely. Even Chase. Chase to me is, you have to get the limited time promotions to be able to really earn, or multiple of the same cards. But you can kill it with Chase for $95, no doubt. I think we get the marketing and the flash and the annual fee for, you get an extra dessert at Resi restaurants, or you get, you could get an upgrade in your car. Like, I have all those car rental statuses, and the last time I rented a car was in Malta, and they only had these little tiny European cars where I'm going like this. There was no upgrade. So like they get us with these promises for these up. Now, don't get me wrong, the higher end travel cards have tremendous, upside. They do. But you can still kill the game with just points. Yeah, Ray's travel tip says that based on the gold and the Hilton, what do you think the platinum refresh is going to look like? I think the platform is pretty much there. I think I'm more positive about the platinum, even though I canceled it. The platinum really fit me. Even the silly digital entertainment fit perfectly. I never had to try to use any of those. I always got positive value, but I canceled the card because $890. And people always quote, well, $695. You guys are not giving your wife a platinum card? Like, are you not taking her in the lounge with you? Like that card was $695 plus $195 plus $325 for the gold card. Because if you got the platinum, probably going to have the gold too. Just too expensive. You can tell me all about these effective annual fees and all these different things, but I'm not spending $1,200 a month to get some Dunkins or to get a credit at a Resi restaurant. No, that doesn't make any sense to me. Guys, we have 91 people in the live. Slap that like button, please. Next thing I want to talk about is more of a positive note. Not jumping through 38 hoops. I'm planning I'm a planner. So I'm planning next year's vacation. How I do this is we're fortunate enough to where we get the school's calendar really early. So as soon as I see next year's school calendar, I like to leave the next day after the boy gets out of school. I like to kind of beat the summer crowds. I like to get him started right away on having a good summer. So we're going to cross off one of my wife's bucket list items. And I booked, what did I book? We're going to Rome. Oh, I booked AIDA Airways business class from North America to Rome direct using Virgin Atlantic miles. And that was kind of a pain in the butt. But 75,000 Virgin miles plus $6. The only problem is there's only 2 award seats on those flights. So I have to fly out a day early to go get everything set up in Rome. I'm not super disappointed in that. But like I was saying, the summer vacation is AIDA Airlines to Rome. We're going to stay at the Waldorf Cavalieri that sits on top of Rome. Apparently, it's a super great property. If any of you guys have been there, please tell me about it. It looks like it's really cool. Ray's Travel Tips says it's awesome. We're only going to be there like 5 days. And then this is where my part of the trip comes in. I don't know what it is, but I really enjoy the I don't know. We're going to Istanbul. So we're going to fly Turkish from Rome over to Istanbul. I don't have a hotel in Istanbul yet, but we're flying back on Turkish Airlines back to Chicago in business class. So I did that with Aeroplan points. I love Aeroplan's website. I talk about Aeroplan a lot, and probably people get tired of it. But if you're going, and I know you can do Asia, but I don't have that much experience doing that. But just North America to Europe, you can absolutely knock Aunt Connie's socks off all day on Aeroplan. So, and let me see here. So that's what we're doing this summer. As soon as the boy gets out of school, going to Rome for 5 days and Istanbul for 4 nights, and then coming back. We learned that 11 days was too long with multiple cities. So I'm hoping 10 days is okay with 2 cities. So we'll see. So if you guys have been to, I haven't been to Rome since the 90s. And I know some of you probably weren't born yet. I haven't been to Turkey since the 90s. So for me, it's kind of getting back to where I was as a super young man. But staying at the Waldorf Cavalieri, super excited about that. From what I understand, that's real luxury. I don't have a hotel in Istanbul, and I'm really out of points, completely out of points. You guys with families know, like a 3 seats to business class cost me 225,000 Virgin miles to get there. Cost me 210,000 Aeroplan miles to get back. It's a lot of miles for one trip, and I go on a trip like once a month. So that's what I've been working on the last couple of weeks. Really excited about that. But I know I guys told you about spring break. We're going to Portugal. I used Avianca Life miles for all that, and I kind of talked about having the Avianca credit card, and having the credit card was a catalyst to doing those kind of redemptions. So super easy. What do we have here? Ray's travel tips. The Waldorf Rome is away from the city, but they shuttle you to the main center. Yeah, and that's what we plan on doing. We plan on because we need a day at the pool. We're Midwestern people. We're not going to go anywhere during the summer, not at least lay around the pool one day. So Yuri says he's been in the Waldorf in Jerusalem. I'm not really ready to go to Jerusalem right now. I have been when I was in the Navy, but I don't really want to go there just right now. Checked in on a Friday night. They gave me till the end of Shabbat. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, YouTube experimental goes to Duncan only as a last resort. L-Man Gaming says Amex has to release the titanium card. See, I think they did. The guy was quoted as saying in Mexico the platinum's over $1,000. So if the Mexican platinum card is over $1,000, that American one is going to 1,200 in no time. No time. And I don't think it's going to be. A lot of people will say, "Well, history indicates a refresh every this and just this much." Now that platinum card is going to $1,200. I think really soon. I think they're going to push it all the way because they're interested in pushing their clientele up that high. And like they said, they're going after Gen Z and millennials. Gen Z and millennials will pay for that. They're the ones that buy the stupid red foam boots for $2,000 and all that. They'll do it. Ray says he lives in Sicily, but he visited there a couple of times. Nice, dude. I've been to Sicily. I had a really fun time in Sicily when I was 19 and 21 years old. JP Buffett says, did you choose your hotel for Japan? I'm doing the first 2 days at the Hilton and the last 2 days at the Conrad. So I wanted to do the Conrad, but the Hilton looked like it was in a better location for me. So I just split the difference. I really do. I'm so excited to experience both of those. I've never been to Japan. I've never been to real Asia. I say real Asia because I've been to Israel, Turkey, been in the Middle East, been to Dubai, Qatar, Abu Dhabi. Never been to real Asia. So that's going to be really fun for me. Millennial Money Mom is Mazel Tovin, Yuri. Yeah, Waldorf in Jerusalem is really close to the old city. You can walk there. That's an awesome trip. No, Millennial Mom. I'm not hating on the millennials. They I mean, factually, they have different spending habits and different, financial tendencies. So they're a little bit different. And why wouldn't Amex capitalize on that? They're going to be spending money a lot longer than I am. And millennials spend money differently. I don't even know if there is any data on Gen X because we're just completely missing. Whether we are still the forgotten generation. Amex is not courting us whatsoever. J.M. Scott, hey Luke, fellow vet here. Thanks for all the great info you provide. Please keep it up, especially for the 51-year-old late to the game retired Army dude. Hey, Cesar Joel is a 51-year-old retired Army guy. You guys, you should come to the creator meetup and meet him. You guys can swap war stories. Yeah, QC man says, Gen Z and millennials, we don't have that kind of money, Luke. I don't believe that for a second. You guys might not have that money. It's because you spent it. But we can't buy a house. No, stop that. Come where I live. I just bought a house for $75,000 a couple years ago. I don't live there, but Luis Serrano, what would be your simple stay put setup if you were no longer signing up for any new cards? No new cards, huh? No new cards, but visiting overseas. I'd say, listen, if I really wanted to make it simple, I hate to say it, but give me the Capital One Duo and the Aspire card. Capital One Duo and the Aspire card. I could kill this game that simply. Obviously, I do want to have more cards than that, but yeah, the Aspire card is never going to go out of style. It's the most overpowered card in the game, in my opinion, bar none. And it's even more overpowered because it's a hotel card. and it does make it a little bit more unique than a transferable currency earning card. But give me the Capital One Duo and the Aspire card, man. I'm good. Yeah, Joshua NG says we have that kind of money in debt. That's a whole other. You guys got to remember, I'm of the Gen Z or Gen X generation, and we still can't figure out how they convinced you guys to take on all that debt just to go to school. Like we like not like I'm not a stupid person, but for the life of me, I can't understand how so many people were convinced to take on crippling debt to then go work a job that doesn't make enough money to pay off that debt. I do think it's brilliant whoever did it, but they didn't do that to us. They didn't. They didn't do that to us because they didn't care. They didn't. We didn't have. We had no guidance whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they're forgiving those loans anyway, which I think is a pretty terrible idea. But that's not part of credit cards, so we'll get off of that. But yeah, Luis, Capital One Duo and Aspire card, man. Yuri says he served out Zahal. Does this count as VA? I don't know, man. I don't know where Zahal is. Oh, JM Scott's got a few squid jokes. I don't. Can Army guys tell squid jokes? We don't serve. We don't really serve with Army guys. It's usually the Marines that hey squid. I and I do love Marines. I was on a ship that carried Marines. So my whole time in the Navy, we were with Marines. And oddly enough, my friends that are veterans now, as old men, they're Marines. I don't really know too many sailors. Yeah, Cesar says old vets are cool. We're different, man. We're different. Yuri says he wants 8 Aspires between himself and the P2. Hey, that's a lot of stuff, a lot of hoops to jump through, but I honestly think it's more valuable to jump through those hoops. Ray's travel tips. Personal question: would a YouTube channel qualify me for a business card, even if I didn't make any money? Yes. Short answer: yes, 100%. Anything that you can think of in your brain that could potentially earn an income other than your W-2 job can qualify you for a business card. It turns out two things, and I'm not saying you don't have to have a business to have business credit because that's silly, but businesses a lot of times don't make money, and businesses exist for a long time before they do make money. Those businesses need capital, they need money, they need credit. So yes, if you're thinking about, you don't even have to have a YouTube channel. If you're thinking about having a YouTube channel and you're preparing to create one, you'll qualify for business credit. Now, sorry, some banks will want that business to be not brand new to give you credit, but other banks will give you credit. Ricky's travel hacking. I know Hyatt isn't your first choice, but the Grand Hyatt Istanbul is a category 4. If you haven't, I don't have it. I actually did have a certificate that I needed to get rid of. So I'm taking my son to the first preseason game. I don't know if it's the first one, but a preseason game down in Cincinnati, and we're going to stay at the Hyatt. So I don't have any. And plus that Grand Hyatt in Istanbul, it seems like it's in a part of town I don't want to stay in. I'm looking more at the old town around the mosques and the bazaar and stuff. The touristy stuff. I want to stay with the tourists. So that one's a little bit far. But I am staying at we still do stay at Hyatt's. We're staying at Hyatt's in Boston. Ricky says if you see a choice redemption you like, book the Hyatt. That way you have something to and then wait 100 days. Yeah, the thing about Istanbul was they only had maybe one choice property, and it was way out, so that wasn't even an option there. I think I'm going to end up using the choice. I think I'm going to maybe the next time we go to New Orleans, not for the creator meetup, but maybe the next time we go, there's a Cambria down there I want to stay at, and oddly enough, Fort Lauderdale has an Ascend collection that I think would be a good use of it. So we'll see. Millennial Money Mom says, yeah, loan forgiveness is bad. Yeah, It's really weird. It's just a really weird concept to me. Oh, so Hall's IDF. Um, we were around a lot of IDF people when like we stopped at Haifa a couple times in the 90s, and kind of funny story. Even in the 90s, we would go to Haifa, and we had to go get mail at Tel Aviv. And the guy says, "Hey, when you get out of the van to get the mail, don't step on any rocks." You're like, think I was 21 years old. I go, why wouldn't I? Why do I care about rocks? He goes, they might blow up. So that was even in the 90s where um, things were a little different there, but loved going to Israel. Israel was fun. It was cool. Only the here's the cool thing about Israel in the 90s, and I haven't been there in a long time, so if it's not this way, I apologize. But you would go to a cafe or a bar, and the bartender would have maybe an East Coast or Midwest accent. And you would say, "Wait a minute, man, I'm in Haifa. Why don't you have an accent?" Well, I was raised in New Jersey. So that's when you find out that so many Israelites are dual citizens and they have lived in both places. And it's also the coolest place where you'll be sitting somewhere having a beer, and two 20-year-old supermodels will walk by in green jumpsuits, and back then it was like Uzis. I don't know what they carry now, but back in the 90s they would like carry an Uzi or something. So really different place, really cool place. Uh, Rothgar says, "What would you want to see in a new card from any issuer in particular?" Well, I don't know what I want to see, but I'm really excited about what this City Prestige might be. And here's why. Everybody's going to bag on City for good reason, because they don't have the best track record. But if you look at how good the Prestige used to be, and then you look at the steps, at least in my opinion, City has taken in the last couple of years. The City Custom Cash was a fan favorite for a while. The City Strata Premier didn't change much and got better. Like, it changed very little, but got way better. Now, I'm excited about what this Prestige does, because I think a super strong Prestige card, I don't know where it puts them in the list of issuers, but it makes them super strong with their part. If they can kind of renew their partnership with American Airlines, and the Prestige is good, and maybe they improve some customer service, or at least they improve their PR when it comes to customer service, I think this makes City a really, really important, viable option in the game with a good Prestige card. So that's what I'm like. That's what I'm looking for. I'm really keeping it. I'm even to the point where I'm thinking about not applying to any new cards just so I can be more eligible for that. Yeah, David Williams says we're old enough to remember East Germany in the Olympics. Yeah, you're right. East and West Germany both did really well in the Olympics, and everybody said, "What if you combined them?" Well, they are combined. Germany is also one of my super favorite countries. It's just Germany is the only country I've been to. This might not make sense, but I don't know if I could tell the difference between Ohio and Germany. Frankfurt, even southern Germany, you get down in Bavaria. I don't know if I could tell the difference. Like, if you drop me off somewhere, I would have a very difficult time finding out where I was if not for the accents and the language. The customs, the people, the looks, the food, like it's so very similar. I have always felt super at home in Germany. J.M. Scott said just earned 64,000 points on 2 nights in Hawaii this past week. Very cool. Oh, MK2 Luke, you prefer the Capital One Duo over the Chase Trifecta with the Ink Cash? I don't know if I would say prefer. Which I have both. Which one do I use way more? The Capital One setup. The Capital One Venture X, and I know people get tired of hearing about this, but it's there's nothing anywhere near it in that it can be your primary premium travel card and also your catch-all card. So it serves two purposes, two important purposes for really no money. And if you travel at all, it's no money. So I think that and then I think the Saver One is the next best thing to the gold card for people who aren't interested in jumping through the hoops. I think those two things just put it way up there for me. And I do use both those cards quite a bit, but I also realize that I need to use my Chase cards more because I need some UR points. Yuri lived in Haifa. Very cool place. Chad's Money Minutes is in the house. I think I might be seeing Chad. Chad, am I going to see you this weekend? Hope so, because I am headed to South Florida this weekend. My vet in Italy was from the Bronx. MR says, sound like the women of high caliber there. The ones I saw were high caliber, very squared away, very cool looking too, with Uzis. Yuri D says, I have the City Prestige and I keep it. I do pay $350. Wow, you only pay $350 for it. That's man, don't give it up. I hope they don't graduate you into a higher fee if the new one ever comes out. Man, that $350 for that card is money. I wish I could have made it past MEPS. Joshua, don't worry. You don't need to wish that. Liam Ritchie, I just got an ink card. Do I need a separate login? Listen, for the business with Chase, if I can remember, yes, you have to create a business account, and then you can call them and combine them. It's I don't remember how to do it. I wish I could tell you, but all I remember is a pain in the butt. Super pain in the butt. Like I have them combined now, but it's still not seamless and still not good. John McKinstry. Good evening, Luke and everyone. Just thinking about the custom cash this morning and how they can improve it by offering 4% back on a second top spend category. Hey, John, Amex is charging you $325 for a 4X category, and you think Citi's going to give you a 5X and a 4X for free? No. That would 100% improve it, but no way. That'll never happen. Not possible. QC Man, Capital One supposedly had a lot of losses in Q2 while Amex had good profits. Do you think that's mostly because of the Walmart card? No, it's because American Express is leveraging their rewards program to get new customers. It's not rocket science. They are doing everything they can to throw future money at these millennials and Gen Zs to get them to sign up for cards, and they're getting great profits because they haven't realized that what they're going to have to pay out in points later on. And if the data Amex collects is any indication, they may never have to come off those MR points. Like most people don't redeem their points how we redeem them. Most people redeem their points for statement credit or for something less valuable, and it's so I don't think what Amex is doing is exactly sustainable as far as them record profits every quarter, but we'll see. I don't think Capital One is. I don't think they're hurting like maybe those earnings reports suggest. I just think they're much more conservative. If Capital One wanted to, they would just approve everybody and collect $395 times 5 million tomorrow. They're not doing that, and I think there's got to be a reason why they're not doing it. Ricky's Travel says if the Prestige made American Airlines a transfer partner, you could stop there, man. If Citi had AA as transfer partner, the usage of Citi cards would probably go up tenfold at least. Added a priority pass and like 6 or 8 Admirals Club passes. I don't think they have to do any of that stuff except for add American Airlines and add a good travel credit. It'll be pretty strong. Yeah, here's the thing, man. American Airlines miles, even if you don't want to fly American Airlines, are so valuable. If Citi added them as a regular transfer partner, those Citi cards would come out of the drawers and they'd be swiped. Chad says him and the wife and the kids are already checked in and headed down tomorrow. Nice, man. Can't wait. I think I'll be there Saturday night. I don't know why I'm leaving so late, but it made sense when I booked it. Cesar says he'll be in South Beach, but August. Where will I be in August? I won't be there in August, man. We'll be there in Labor Day though. Yeah, CJ says this weekend, Luke, I'll be at the Conrad Saturday night for a couple days. Short trip, really short. I looked at it. It was a really short trip, but I will be there Saturday night. And I do want to smoke a cigar with you guys. I don't know where we can smoke a cigar down there, but we'll figure it out. Julia says, let's say you were to downsize to 3 total financial institutions. Who would you stay with? Who treated you the best? 3. You made it just big enough to where okay. That, even though 3 is a lot, it's still tough because I have everybody. 3. Oh man. Capital One. Let's do Capital One, Chase. Capital One, Chase. And what I'm trying to think is, do I go with a credit union or do I go with Citi? Because Amex will be out. If I only had to have 3, Amex would be out. So let's just do Capital One, Chase, and Citi. I can do a super. I can do a very cost-effective setup with those 3, and I think I can hit just about everything. I'm going to lose my Aspire card though, so yeah, Capital One, Chase, and Citi. But then I don't have anywhere to get a mortgage or a car loan. We'll be all right. What oh yeah, Liam says there's a video on YouTube on it. I think if we just call them and say, listen, I don't know how to get this. How do I link my personal and business accounts together on one website? And I think what they'll end up doing is they'll end up putting, I think for me, they put my personal stuff with my business, not vice versa. So it'll all be on one login. Capital One is in trouble. When the customer starts winning, that's when you know the bank is in trouble. Yeah, I don't think any. I think very few customers are winning against these banks. We're a huge niche and a very small percentage of credit card users. There's 112 people. That's a lot for me. 112 people in the chat right now. 112 people. Slap that like button for me, please. But you guys that are here, there's 1,000 times more people using, the gold card for their 1X purchases and never looking at their balance of MR points, never really redeeming them for anything. Same with every issuer. The Capital One, I'm quite sure people watch the commercial and apply for a card, really having no idea what card they're applying for, and they just use that one for everything. And they probably just apply to statement credit or the travel eraser. So I don't think we're hurting the banks. Now, obviously, we're winning, but I don't think there's enough of us to hurt them. Martha's rocket surgery. You're absolutely right. It's not rocket science, it's rocket surgery. Oh, Red Sox 101's in the house. Oh, boy. How do you acquire enough Hilton points for good redemptions? I find getting UR points for Hyatt a lot easier. Well, you can buy Hilton points for half a penny each several times throughout the year. Bonuses are really high for Hilton cards. Even the earnings on Surpass cards far exceed Chase earnings. Not even close. The only way you're earning with a Chase card is through the Freedom Flex, and it's got such a small cap. You have to have multiple Freedom Flexes or you have to have an ink cash. Really, none of the other Chase cards are going to allow you to earn, all that well. You get 3 times dining with every single one of them, but they don't even have a real catch-all card. Oh, boy. Where are we at here? I'm getting all mixed up in the chat here. Ricky, we don't have mods. Red Sox does that on RJ's channel. If I think if you just ignore the stuff that we're not interested in, I think he does contribute sometimes. Yuri says he mostly flies American Airlines. City added AA once. Yeah, they did have them for a few months, and it transferred around $1 million. I'd be so. I will never have 1 million points, which is funny because I think I have 1.2 million Hilton points deployed right now in future reservations, and probably around 1 million transferable currencies in flights in the next 12 months. But I will never have that sitting in a bank somewhere. I can't keep that many online on one place. Joshua NG says if City gets AA as a transfer partner, YouTube will have enough content for at least the next 6 months. Yeah, City strategies. Now I'll do you one better. Let's say City gets AA as a transfer partner and they create a referral program. There won't be a video on any other issuer besides City if these guys can make referral bonuses off of them. Brad, I'm approaching 3K annual fees just for 2 people in the household. Well, I'm getting value on all the keeper cards, but at the same time, I feel $3,000 is too much. What's my take, Uncle Luke? What's my take? And I'm the Uncle Luke. I can completely relate. I don't know if I even added up my annual fees correctly, but it was more than that. And it, like you said, individually, every one of them makes sense. And I travel quite a bit more than a normal person, but I decided that I was not going to carry $4,000 in annual fees anymore. So this year I started cutting a lot, and I haven't even told everybody some of the other cuts I've made yet because I'll probably make a video on them. But I am not interested in carrying $4,000 in annual fees anymore. I love the game. I love getting the value and manipulating the system, but you're still spending $3,000, which for some people, spending $3,000 a year for this hobby and all the things it gets you, it's a bargain. But I understand why you're asking me, and the only thing I can tell you is I'm not going to carry those high annual fees anymore. I'm probably going to be we'll see. We'll see how many annual fees I'll have at the end of the year. But I think it's going to be drastically reduced. And it's understandable, man. Writing checks, not physically writing checks, but paying out credit card companies, no thanks. I just want the points now. I'm at the point where I don't even want the perks. I just want the points. Wells Fargo is kicking lately. 100%. Wells Fargo's killing it lately. You can really kill this game with Wells Fargo cards now. And that's great. John, eventually I want to get into the Wells ecosystem. I have a Wells autograph card. And I don't use it, but I think I'm going to start. I'm going to start putting some spend on it. Capital One's most popular card is the Quicksilver. Yeah. And I'm sure they're not losing on that. If they're giving away 1.5 and they're making 2.5 on the swipe fees, plus they're giving cards to people that are probably carrying a balance at 29%, Capital One's probably not doing too bad. Where are we at here? Oh, Yuri has 7 Freedom Flexes and 4 ink cashes. That's how you earn with Chase. You really have to get into them. Brandon signed up for Amex Gold 2 weeks ago for 90K sub. Don't plan to use the monthly credit and will product change to green in a year. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Yeah. Rubio says Golden surpass rack up points for Hilton really quick. You're right. Bobby Yakuza's in the house. Big League Bobby. MR says, I think Red Sox 101 might be Kurt Schilling. He could be. That would be cool to have Kurt in the house. Luis Quiones Hernandez. Going back to City Prestige card, what was the latest news? It's supposed to be out there. Yeah, I don't know. Um, I don't have any idea. I don't really track it that close because it's still City. It could say next month and it might be 2026. QC man just dropped this super chat. Great live as always, Luke. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. K1 Kid Cat just became a channel elite member. That's awesome, guys. If you do want to become a channel elite member, I have been putting my maximum value redemption videos out first to channel members. Probably going to start pumping those out real soon. I have a couple like in the queue, a couple hotel maximum value redemptions, IHG and Hilton's Caribbean stuff. So look for those, and if you do want them a day early, become a channel member. Channel members $2.99 a month. Quit anytime. Chad says just made a cut as well. Annual fees are for the birds. Hey, this is kind of how it goes, man. You get in the game, you don't like the annual fees. You find out that the annual fees bring a lot of value, and then you kind of lean into it. And then after a while, you're like, maybe not. So, and I hope that kind of ebbs and flows because I don't mind paying the annual fees. But with a credit card YouTube channel and being in the game so heavy, I probably went overboard on them. Not afraid to say that. I had a lot of fees. I justified it with, well, I pay my fees with my YouTube money. So, I'm working it off. Red Sox says the U.S. government needs to cut their spending. What else is new, man? That's always been the case. I agree. They do need to cut the spending. Yuri just got the autograph journey. Okay. Wants to get the Attune. I like that Attune card, man. I probably won't get it, but I do like it. Keep it simple. Says when you buy points, what card do you use? This is no matter where you buy the points, it doesn't count as travel. No, it doesn't count as travel. It counts as other because you're buying them from a third-party company. This is what I almost just did today. I just got an offer to purchase IHG points for half a penny each, and you can buy up to 500,000 of them. So $2,500 for 500,000 IHG points. That's a deal to me. So what I wanted to do was I told my wife, I said, hey, apply for the IHG Premier card. Right now, that bonus is 5 free nights worth up to 60,000 each. So if you can come close to that, that's 300,000 IHG points. You need to spend $4,000. Well, as soon as she gets the card, I was going to spend $2,500 on 500,000 IHG points. She can finish the other $1,500 off pretty easy. But what that would get us, not counting the bonus spend, we would have 500 plus the essentially 800,000 IHG points in the first day. So that's kind of how I like to buy my points on new cards for the spending bonus. If I can't do that, it would be on a card that has let's say the Surpass 15,000, you get a free night. That's a good one. I really don't normally get down to just a catch-all card. Usually I have a more of a purpose than that. If I can't time it any better, it's just a Capital One Venture X, man. Just double miles. And, but I do like to do, I do get a lot of cards. So it's not hard to time that with the new card. I think with the Avianca Life Miles, I purchased Hilton points for half a penny each, the maximum amount I could. And I purchased Life Miles. And that pretty much got the bonus for that. So I like to do it with new cards. Thank you, QC man. Appreciate you always. Keep it simple. I think I'll use my City Double Cash to buy points. I'm new to buying them. Looking to get IHG. Now, the IHG has sent me an email today. So there may be emails coming out for that offer. I think it's a great offer. And I'm not even super high on IHG. I just think it's half a penny each, and I can normally get a penny per point. Just makes sense for me. And I do like IHG properties on both ends of the spectrum. I like the high end stuff, and I even like the Holiday Inn Expresses. M2K, what are your thoughts on the Aeroplan card and Aeroplan in general? MK2, we just talked about Aeroplan. Really big on Aeroplan. I think it's the strongest partner in the entire game. If I could get the Aeroplan card, I would. I got denied for it this year for being over 524. I actually applied for it when they had the 40th anniversary stuff going on. I thought I slid in there, but I couldn't. They denied me. I love the card. If I was eligible for it, I would get it right now. Julius, if you pay for a flight with a CSR or Venture X, but upgrade via Platinum Ritz, does it void the travel protection? I don't think so. I have not experienced that, but it doesn't make any sense to me that would void anything. You're just upgrading your seat. The flight was purchased. The transportation, the common carrier transportation was purchased with the CSR or Venture X. So I don't think it matters if you got to change your seat or not. Robert J, if you get 10 times if you buy choice points with the Wells choice, but yeah, you get 10 times if you buy choice points with the Wells Choice Privileges Elite card. I didn't know that. I had the Choice Privileges Elite card. I didn't purchase any choice points when I had it, but that's a really good. If you're earning 10 times while purchasing choice points when they're on sale, man, that's not a bad deal at all. I'm a big fan of purchasing points because for some of us, sometimes it's easier to earn cash than it is points. It's quicker anyway. Let's go to work. Sakara, just now tuning in, but I feel like I'm one of the few who got the gold actually got better. Yeah. No, we kind of went over that. So the gold did get better for a certain group of people, a subset of people, and more power to them, man. It's a great card if you're in that group. I'm jealous because it's a ton of MR points, and I like MR points. Hrothgar, 200,000 point offer on Amex Business Gold is live now. Both my wife and I were targeted for 250 grand. What's Hrothgar? What's the 200,000 point? What's the spend on it? It's not $10,000, is it? If it is 10,000, someone send me a link. I will get the business gold for sure for 200,000 MR points for sure. And I'll buy IHG points with it. Yes, I just got 2 choice select cards with 100. Yeah, nice, Yuri. A lot of folks are on that choice train, man. I think choice has some good offers. Liam says Holiday Inn Express is like Jersey Mike's. You know exactly what you're getting. Hey, great analogy, man. You do. You know you're getting a very okay low-end breakfast. You're generally getting a clean, proportionate room with Wi-Fi. I'm a fan. I'm a really big fan of luxury properties, but I also really do kind of go with the Holiday Inn Express on the lower end for sure. I didn't think Airplane card is good, even with the I do because the thing I think makes sense is it has good multipliers. Probably not anything special because you have to transfer them out, and when you do transfer them, you get 10% bonus. So it's almost like you're always getting a bonus, at least 10%. And then if you hit that 20% like there is going on right now, you know you're transferring even more. I think the Airplane card is good, and it's just because I think those points are so strong and so versatile. Muscle says, have you heard of if the new Amex Gold Dunkin' credit can be used by loading the app with cash? I don't see why not. I think everybody, that was their first thought, and I don't know. I don't know. It's too new, and I don't have it, and I don't go to Dunkin', so no Dunkin' Donuts locations in the state of Oregon. I wonder if you can purchase things online to be shipped, like maybe some K cups or something, which would make sense every month or so. It would be easy anyway, but you're probably still going to overspend. You're probably going to spend like $12 or $15. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Yuri says I do run an IHG Select Plus Traveler setup. Nice, Yuri. Yuri's in the game, man. Are you trying to get back under 524? Yeah, I'm trying. But at the same time, 524 doesn't have the same value for me as it does for other people. Like if I see an opportunity, let's say the City Prestige, let's say I stay away from new applications and November comes around and the City Prestige card comes out, probably going to apply for it. 524 be damned. If it doesn't come out, be closer to being under 524. Oh, the Traveling Hatter channel member, baby. Recently converted a 250,000 American Express Business Platinum bonus. Nice work. Also used IHG points to schedule 40 days in Bangkok, Kathmandu. You're a big leaguer, man. You are killing the game. Okay, Sakara, 15 G's for 200 on the business gold. I think I can do that. Yeah, I definitely can do that. I might. If anybody has a link for it, send it to me. If it's no lifetime language, because I've had a couple of them. Do you plan on staying in any Choice hotels for any of your imminent trips? I don't have anything scheduled for Choice in the next 12 months. So I don't have any plans for those points. I really want to use them, and I probably do have an last minute impromptu trip somewhere in here. So maybe I'll go out of my way to use it there. John McKinstry, did you hear Southwest Airlines is going to change to assigned seats? I think that's a good move. I don't have any idea why anybody can stand what they're doing now with the wheelchairs and the saving seats. And I'm flying Southwest back from South Florida next week, and I think I paid for the business early check-in or something, but I would just be sitting there like this in the middle between two hillbillies. I'm sure. I hate Southwest. I hate the business model they have now. It's not cheaper for me either. Like where I live, Southwest is not a cheap option. Millennial Money Mom, what's your favorite airline? My favorite airline, and I know you're not talking about worldwide, but I really like Swiss Air. I really liked being on Swiss Air, and I love the little blue houses at KLM. But if you're talking about legacy carriers here at home, I think Delta is my preferred, but I fly American more. If that makes sense. I don't show any loyalty to any of these domestic airlines, but I would say Delta has better numbers as far as on time, less cancellations. Not that they're without their faults. They also have a better hard product, but American might have better routes for me. So I try not to have a favorite. So got to get some Hyatt points. Staying at the Grand Hyatt Istanbul and use a suite upgrade. Joel Pineda, if you were here earlier, I just talked about Istanbul. We're going to Istanbul this summer, next summer, for the boys' summer vacation. So still looking to book a hotel there. Amex Gold sucks. I canceled 3 years ago. Yeah, well. Sakara, who do you prefer between annual fee? Oh, Air France and KLM. All other things equal. Just from my experience, I like KLM better, but I would say that the food was better on Air France. The hard product was better on the KLM flight I was on, and I like the houses. So I don't know. I think they're even. I don't really consider them much different. If I had to book a new plane with one of them, I'd probably go Air France. If I had to just new product, Air France. If it's chance it's going to be an older product, it's a toss up. It's a coin flip. But the bread is really good on Air France. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. Oh, Chad says he's coming off his 54-day Marriott stay and bringing the little ones for their first vacation at a 5-star resort. It's just where I want to go to McDonald's and play on the playgrounds. Yes. 54-day Marriott stay. Wow. Oregon doesn't have any Duncan yet, but it has the last blockbuster. Nice work, Oregon. Oh boy, where are you at here? Oh yeah, okay. We got shoot. Someone was saying you can use your own Amex referral, truth or cap. Okay, so this was a big deal a few years ago. It's neither truth nor cap. You can use your own Amex referral and they'll shut all your stuff down. It wasn't that long. It was, I guess it's been a few years now. They would claw back and shut your whole everything down for using your own referral. People did it for a long time and people did it successfully for a long time. And then it became like the most taboo thing in the world to do. So I would not recommend doing that at all. I don't think it takes them, it's very low effort for them to find out you did that. I don't even know if you can anymore. They might have just patched that and made it so you can't, but no, don't do it. Yeah, like Lewis says, am exiled. Yeah, Ricky says Delta's a better product. Americans better out of Columbus, cheaper flights, and usually better routing. Couldn't say it any better. Robert said Delta stats went to hell this week. You're right. You're absolutely right. Ron J says 2025 creator meetup in Dubai. That sounds like a super idea, but I want to say the 2025 creator meetup may be in Puerto Rico. I think Cesar might be pushing for Puerto Rico, and I'm backing him. I think it's a great idea. Went to Puerto Rico again when I was a small child in the Navy and really, really liked it. I would love to go back. So I'm with Cesar on this one. Puerto Rico. Wepa. All right, guys. I got about 5 minutes before I have to go get my beauty sleep. We got 107 people in here. Guys, hit the like button. And I super appreciate all you guys being here. I'm amazed that anybody cares at all about what I say, especially online. And I also want to say you guys are by far one of the best online communities there is. So much positivity, maybe a couple glitches in that, but mostly positivity and super good to each other. John R. just became a channel member. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. We did not get to questions with Carlos today. So if you guys want to have a question for Carlos in 2 weeks, he'll be ready to field a couple extra ones. He's going to be mad at me I didn't bring him up here, but we'll make it up to him. I'll take him to South Florida tomorrow or Saturday. Oh, millennial money mom, too afraid to go. My wife won't go to Dubai either. I understand. Yeah, I understand. But I don't think it's. I don't know. Like I said, she doesn't want to go to any Middle Eastern country, and I don't blame her. I don't push it. I don't. She doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to go. I don't have a problem going myself, but I don't think I would go if I didn't feel completely comfortable or safe. And you can argue whether that's rational or whatever, but if you don't feel safe and you don't feel comfortable, it's probably not going to be any fun. Cesar Joel, 25-25, Puerto Rico. I like it. Glenn Ardonia, my Filipino head of security, my stick man, will be in Puerto Rico in 2025. Hrothgar, you the man, Uncle Luke. Thank you, sir. Vamos, Puerto Rico. Take place in the T-Mobile district. Okay, I don't know what that is, but I'm all about it. And see, Millennial Money Mom loves the Puerto Rico. John R. is glad to be back. Thank you, sir. He will be in Puerto Rico. Yep. Okay, guys, I am going to get off here. Like I said before, thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it as always. And 2 weeks, we'll be back. Thank you.